Greetings. Welcome to the Peace Place. I'm Judy Penman of Prayhomes, founder of the Peace Movement. And this morning I bring you a short word. It's a word of authenticity. It's a word of taking off the masks. It's a word of knowing that we can be real and then we can be healed. We can then step into the fullness of what God created us to be according to his plan. But this morning, I bring you a couple of snippets from different prayhomes. One, Peel Me Back, which has been a foundational cry to God. After spending decades of looking for a strategy on how to live in peace and know the love of God, the ways of God, rather than the way man has distorted the creative God of the universe. And so this morning I bring you Peel Me Back, and I say, God, peel me back, that which I've known me to be, until I reach raw authenticity and honesty with you, connected and intimate. Do you ever have those days where you feel like you're wearing a mask and sometimes feel like that pretense is the only way that there is? Well, we all have those. And one of the benefits of knowing God intimately is we can learn how to be able to turn all of those concerns authentically uh, up to his heart and watch him and allow him to save us from our incessant distractions and much more, and prevent us from having to turn to drugs or alcohol or pills or sex or whatever our distractions are, and bring us back into the arms of God, learning the ways that help us stay in a place of peace that passes all understanding. I'm so grateful that these other times are sporadic for me, which at much of my life, they were a way of life. They were the ways that I compromised, the way that I sacrificed any idea that I could live in peace and joy. And but now I know that as I come into God's presence, as I submit myself unto Him, as I cast my cares on this mighty creative God, He shifts the atmosphere and He shifts every cell in my body and He changes my heart. So today, this next word is the authenticity, the rawness of how it was for me yesterday. And then I'll share with you what God did inside of that. It's called Short Revisit. Oh, the pain of this isolated, lonely place. How to get up once more and continue to face the thoughts pervasive and all distorting. Oh God, forgive me again for again reporting what's not you. Though it is familiar to hide from the pain in my heart, I believe your way can still restore the part of your plan that you spoke for my life, to bring deep peace, replacing the strife and mental battles. So I bow before you and stretch out my hand. Release your healing balm and help me to stand with boldness and wisdom from your heart. Yes, once again, remind me of the part you spoke. God teaches us that we are not to rely on our own understanding, because our understanding is not His understanding. Our ways are not God's ways. And when we process or we try to figure out things only through our mind, we only have the database that we have to draw from. And most likely, you'll end up in the same place you always end up in because that's the formula you used. But when we look deeper than that, we look beyond the natural living that we um, do every day, we can realize that there really is a supernatural way to live. There's a way that God does order every steps. He helps us take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ, and that's what I turned to yesterday. For having studied many decades about how development happens, how the mind is formed, different agendas that are out there through the different religions, different philosophies, different understandings, and different ways of life, none of them produce what a relationship, an intimate relationship with a holy God produces. For you are unique. Each of us is unique. God had a unique plan for each one of us. And in my experience of life, there are very few places that I can go that people can meet me where I am and help me to discover what I'm talking about right now. So that's really what the peace movement is about. The peace movement is about meeting us where we are, introducing us to who God is, and learning to know God intimately rather than just about Him. So as I woke up yesterday morning in my humanness, in my desperation, it seemed at the moment, I was so grateful that I had the revelation in my heart that I could call on God and He would answer me. And the way that He has worked with me through this process is He gives me words. They're now called prayons. And they're kind of like the transport that takes me from the stuckness, we'll call it, of the ways that I learned into the freedom that only God can bring. So I cried out in prayer because He says that if you call on me, I will answer you and I will show you great and mighty things. And so I cried out to Him in this prayon called Short Revisit was what came bubbling up from my spirit, from His heart to my heart and through my mouth. And so as I walked through the day, there were many things that I was doing, and I went to the book of Proverbs. He has given me the uh, walking in wisdom's ways is taking the book of Proverbs. I was sharing that with a friend, and it was in that wisdom agreement that all of a sudden the heaviness that I felt in my heart lifted. I felt free again. I felt the joy of the Lord being my strength. I knew that all things were possible because I believe. And I am so grateful that there is a process that I have learned, that I no longer have to pretend. I no longer have to wear a mask. So today I bring you the raw authenticity of the access and the results that the power of God can bring to each of our lives. He really does give us beauty for the ashes. For yesterday morning, I felt as though my life was of ashes, had no evidence in the reality around me, but with the inside between these two ears, I was convinced of many things that are not love and many things that were not God. So the gratitude in my heart that God has walked me through a process and helps me to bring it forth in a way that each one of us out there can realize there's an alternative to wearing a mask. There's an alternative bullying. There's an alternative to all of the distractions that we turn to in life. And His name is Jesus. And He has this, as the triune Godhead, we have access to the Father who is love, the Holy Spirit who is our teacher, leader, and our guide, and Jesus is our Savior, our brother, and all that we need. And so much mocking and so many attempts are being pushed in the world today to get us to step back from the truth of the love and the power and the plan of God. But the peace movement is about discovering all of the things that are in the way of living and knowing the plan that God has for us. And so today I pray that this was encouraging to you, because it's not about pretending, it's not about positive thinking, it's not about faking it till you make it. It's about being raw and authentic in the moment. And we can do that when we know that the creative love of the universe lives within us and that we have access to all we'll ever need. So if you're interested in walking this journey with us, you're discovering your individual journey and then walking through that, you're welcome to subscribe here on a YouTube channel. Tell others about us. You can find me at prayoms.com. That's PRAYOEMS.com. And thepeacemovements.com. That's the place where it's a peace that passes all understanding. There are many peace movements, but just look, keep looking until you find our Praying Hands logo. So I wish you peace, love, and joy. I give you a voice, a word of encouragement that it is possible to move from the desperation and the hard places that we live in each day to be able to turn it all over to the God who knows everything all the time. I'm wishing you peace, love, and joy today. This is Judy signing off for the day.